Hey guys, this is Joseph. I just wanted to go over some things because you guys have a test on Monday. This is just going to be a basic review. I honestly have no idea what's on the test. I don't like to see the test before the students do because I tend to have a big mouth and be like, oh, it'd be really good if you looked at this. And so we're just going to go over everything, play it safe. So we're going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is going to go over some AutoCAD commands that you should know how to do because we're going to have a multiple choice section in class, a basic drawing of a geometric shape in class, and then you're going to have one that you have to take home and do. For the take-home one that you do by yourself, it is considered individual work. Don't do it with the group. And Corey and myself will not be able to help you with it. We can answer like logistical questions like, I don't know, something that's not giving an answer, or how do I do this? But let's get started. So AutoCAD commands, the first one we're going to start with lines. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, so let's get started. I have my AutoCAD open. It's cool, it's pretty. So let me zoom in. Okay, there's a line command up here. It says line, so we're just going to click that. Line. Cool. It says specify the start point. So we can just draw random lines, doesn't matter. That's one way to draw a line. That's not very accurate. We don't like that. So we want to be precise. So let's say I want to draw a line. Let's do, okay, if we notice AutoCAD is Cartesian in coordinates. So I'm going to draw a line from 0, 0. Okay, now let me zoom out. Okay, let me put it over here. Okay, so that's 0, 0 right here. So let's try that again. Line 0, 0. Alright, and let's say I want to make it 10 feet high. So I would do 0, 10. Okay, so let me get rid of this other line. So this line is 10 feet high from the start point. So that's one way we could do it. Okay, now let's say we want to draw a line from this. We're going to make a square. So we're going to go from here 10 feet to the right. So I can draw a line, specify first point 0, 10. I want the second point, which is now going to be 10, 10. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so we can do that. That's the hard way to do it in my opinion. So let's do it a way that I would think would be easier. Okay, I like to use relative coordinates, so I'm going to do the line command again. Specify the first point. It really doesn't matter. Now I'm going to hit Shift 2. I get this little at sign right here. He says specify next point at. Okay, so now I can use relative coordinates. So I can do things wherever I want. So I'm going to do 0, 10 again. Right, now I'm going to do it again at 10, 0. And now I can do it again at 0, negative 10, at negative 10, 0. And all I'm doing is moving in the X, Y, and now we have perfect. That's perfect. There's another way you can do it if you're just making right angles. We can use this button down here called ortho mode, orthographic projections. We can only move in right angles. Right? Only move in right angles. Okay. If you notice I have dynamic input on. Professor Kelly doesn't like this. I like this. This is the only way I model. Okay, dynamic input lets me see the number while I'm making the line. So you notice this one says 21.9042. I can make that anything I want now. I can make that 25. Right? And since I'm in orthographic projection, it's at 0, 90, 180, whatever. So I can do that again. 25. I'm just typing 25. And I can either snap or I can type 25 again. Cool. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way, I'm going to turn off orthographic now, is I'm going to use a relative coordinate, but I'm going to use angles. So if you see this one says 15.6243 at 40 degrees. So we can make this. Let's make it 45 degrees, 25 feet at 45 degrees. So I'm going to do at 25 feet, the less than sign, 45 degrees. Cool. Okay, now I want 25 feet coming down 45 degrees. So I can do at 25 less than negative 45. And I can keep doing this until I get a square at a 45 degree angle. So I can do at 25 less than negative 135. And I can do again at 25 less than positive 135. Boom. So now I have this square that's been rotated 90. I can also use a rectangle, and I can just type in at 25 comma 25. Boom. And then I can rotate it. Rotate. I'm typing rotate. I can pick a base point. If we want the center, we can draw construction lines from corner to corner. So corner, line again, corner. Come on, be nice. Come here. Boom. And now I can rotate, specify the base point. I'm going to pick the center one, and now I can do 45 degrees. So now these two are equal. Okay, but let's say I want to delete one of these lines. I don't like one of these square lines. It's all one thing, so I can do explode, which is the opposite of join. So whenever you're modifying a line or something, you have to click and then right click. So I'm gonna, my mouse stopped working. So I'm gonna click this, left click, right click, and now these are 4 individual line segments. Now let's say I didn't want to do that, I want to put them back. I can always hit Control C, or I can do the opposite command, join, highlight what I want, right click. And now this is all one object again. So let's see what else I have. Oh, trim. We did kind of a rectangle. Polygon is the same thing. Where is polygon? I just type it, polygon. And this will you can enter the number of sides, center, and you can draw shapes like that. What was I going to do? Oh, trimming. So trim is a command. You have to, it says select objects or select all. We want to select all, so we can either hit return, enter, or right click. I right click. Now you left click on what you want to trim. Okay, so whatever we want. We're making an abstract work of art. I didn't like that. I want to get rid of that little line right there. It's beautiful. I'm awesome. Someone can buy this painting. Okay, now you see I'm clicking this. You can hear me clicking. I can't delete this because this is now a standalone line. I cannot trim that. I can delete it. I don't like that. Cool. So we're at 7 minutes. Let's see what else I want to do. Offset. Let's do offset and layer properties real quick. Offset command is really, really easy. Just type in offset. The distance you want to offset, so let's just make it 1 foot. You select it in or out. Boom. When you're doing feet to inches, you have to make sure you use the decimal equivalent. 6 inches does not equal 0.6. It equals 0.5 because it's half a foot. You just got to remember what you're modeling in. What was the other thing I was going to do? Offset and layer properties. So everyone knows the layer properties up here. We never want anything on the 0 layer. We like to make our own up in here. Up in here. If it ever loads. We did this in homework 2 and in homework 3, where we made a layer that we wanted. So you can be like homework 3 underscore blah 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 blah, and then when I can filter over here, I can add whatever I want. And if I type homework 3, I should have made those capital. Homework 3, it should come up to whatever I had. That's the only one there. That's easy. Know how to use a graphic scale. That's really important. We talked about it in class last week. We did it on the homework. If it's going to be on the test, it's going to be really simple. Just remember, take your time. Oh, if you want to check what you've done, you go annotate, the dimension tool right here. This one is for perfectly perpendicular or horizontal. You can do aligned, which you can do at an angle. Snap right there. Zoom out. Radius and angle. You can do angular, radius, stuff like that. That's important if you want to check yourself. That's pretty much it. The line commands are probably the most important. When you're making an alignment, let's talk about alignment. I have like 30 seconds left. Alignment is the center line that you offset from for a sidewalk or a road. It should be one continuous line. So if we have a lot of line segments and we want to make them one line, we can use the join command, or we can do it as a P line to begin with. So let me just draw a bunch of lines right here. I got like 15 seconds. So if you notice, this is all one line now too. That's one way to do it. I hope this helped. If you have any questions about the test, email Professor Kelly or myself or Corey. We should get back to you relatively quickly.